This title is from the book of Revelations, because I have to tell you this, and you may think I'm nuts if you want to, but this is the truth. Either these men are following the book of Revelation, the book of Revelation as it is in the Bible. Mm-hmm. They're either following it, just like a plan, and bringing the prophecies in there to pass, to manipulate and control those who believe in those prophecies and neutralize them, so to speak. In other words, to manipulate and control those who believe in those prophecies and neutralize them, so to speak.
All right, guys, welcome back to Truth Movement Cartel, guys. This is going to be a little bit of a longer post, but you got to hear it, guys. So for the last 7-8 months now, since the moment Trump got in Saudi Arabia and rode in the beast behind the pale horse riders, I've had the realization of what they are doing. So attached here, you are going to see a clip of him in the beast behind the pale horse riders. We'll be right back.
And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat upon him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth.
Okay, so now you see that, okay? We're going to go bit by bit. Now, I realized when they slaughtered the red heifer and they said it wasn't qualified, and then we find out it was qualified, and they said, let's build, it's time to build, because you know, with the slaughtering of the red heifer, that comes with the building of Solomon's temple, the third temple. As I'll show you the clip right here.
Another Truth Movement Cartel production.
According to Mosaic law, burning the ashes of a red heifer is a mandatory act for beginning the temple offering to God. The ashes of the red heifer is a key element in a biblically mandated purification ritual. These ashes are required for purification in a range of situations, including contact with dead bodies. According to the Torah, Moses prepared the first red heifer, and from that time until the destruction of the temple, only 9 heifers were prepared. There has been no proper red heifer in Israel for the past 2,000 years. The difficulties of finding red heifers anywhere is that they are not only rare, but the animal must meet the requirements as stipulated in the Torah and in the oral Talmud.
So just a few days ago, they decided to sacrifice a red heifer, stating that it had 2 black hairs on it, so therefore it wouldn't qualify for the sacrifice of the temple. How come no one recorded those 2 black hairs on that heifer so we could see that it was true? I mean, we're fully capable of showing that proof. Then everybody gets dressed up in their garments for a practice run. Key words here, practice run. Who's to say there was even 2 black hairs on that red heifer? And they want you to believe that it was just a practice run. But in reality, it was the real deal. And they aired it on the news. But if it was a practice run, why would you make it public? Because they wanted us to see it. They wanted us to believe it was a practice run, telling us that the red heifer was not qualified, but yet followed the ceremony all the way through. And nobody has questions about that, wanting us to believe that this doesn't count as the sacrifice they were all looking forward to. The sacrifice is meant to do one thing, and that is to usher in the AC. And we all know what happens when he comes on the scene.
We were told a few weeks ago that the rabbis in Israel were using a disqualified red heifer to make a practice run of the offering of the red heifer that they need the ashes of to cleanse the soon coming tribulation temple. We now know it was not a disqualified red heifer. I repeat, it was not disqualified.
Okay, so with that being said, we have even more information, all right? Before all of this transpired, I always wondered why the day that Trump was announced president, Syria fell. I did a long video about Syria, the biblical prophecy with Damascus being in ruins, which you're going to see here in a second.
We are living in the last moments of the last days, and the world is about to drastically change, and probably 85% of the population has no idea what is coming. So Damascus, which is the oldest continually inhabited city in the entire world, has officially fallen. But why is this so significant? If you will open up to the book of Isaiah, you will find that he prophesied directly about the complete annihilation of the city of Damascus, which has not happened ever in history. So could this event be the catalyst that ushers in the complete fulfillment of this prophecy? But the significance doesn't just stop there, because this prophecy also alludes to the fall of a part of northern Israel. And what that means is we could be watching in the very near future, not just the setup, y'all, but the start of the Ezekiel 38-39 war, otherwise known as World War III.
This is a historic day for the Middle East.
What if Daniel 11:20 wasn't just fulfilled in ancient times, but fulfilled again just a few months ago, when Bashar al-Assad quietly vanished from power in Syria? There was no war, no assassination, no chaos, just silence. And that's exactly what Daniel wrote, that he would be broken, neither in anger nor in battle. Then immediately after Daniel 11:21 says a vile person would rise in his place, someone not given royal majesty but who takes the kingdom through flattery. That new Syrian leader is already in power right now. Could this be the modern fulfillment that sets the stage for the Antichrist?
The day Trump took office, the guy who was in charge of ISIS and Al-Qaeda, who was just in the White House, took over Damascus, and it's in ruins. Now, that country hasn't fallen in decades, and all of a sudden I watched the U.S. pull their troops and ships out, and Russia haul butt out of there, and you see him at the White House just last week. Well, you ready for another oh my moment? So, remember when Trump had the bruise? I always try to figure out what it was, because I'll be honest, I don't know scripture off the back of my hand. I just know certain things. Now, I'm actually going to replay this for a second. When Trump took the shot, the fake shot to the ear, that was also part of the revelation. It says, receiving a deadly head wound to his head has led to multiple interpretations showing the blood on his right hand, the blood on his right foot, and blood in his right ear. What did Trump do? Raised his hand and showed the blood. He said, get my shoe, and you know the ear wound. You know, it gets better. And here's a clip for that.
Believe you me, after Trump, America is finished.
Take a look at what happened.
One of the heads of the beast seemed to have had a fatal wound, but the fatal wound had been healed. The whole world was filled with wonder and followed the beast, and he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and he was given authority to continue for 42 months. 42 months is 3.5 years, which is the term of a U.S. presidency.
Take a look what happened. Take a look what happened.
Now, after you just witnessed that, we're going to get to the bruise. And I'm reading this so you can see it's coming right off the Bible, okay? Or right off the book of Revelations. So, the right hand symbolizes the actions of power. Zechariah 11:17. Woe to the worthless shepherd who leaves the flock. The sword will be on his arm and on his right arm, and his right eye. His arm will be totally withered, and his right eye will be blind. The passage combined with New Testament's description of the Antichrist for the beast after the head wound, he has led to various interpretations showing his physical injury on the right hand. The main biblical references related to the hand are the mark of the beast. The book of Revelation states that all people will be forced to reach the mark on the right hand or the right forehead to buy, sell, or symbolizing their allegiance and participation in the Antichrist. That is why he has the mark, guys. Now, we are going to get the mark with the digital ID. Are you getting it yet? That is why the Jews call him the return of Cyrus. Remember when he was in Israel, Cyrus the Great, the only Gentile who built the second temple?
We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6, so we'll keep going.
Now, we know that he calls himself the chosen one. You can see it right here in this clip.
So somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. So
he has been called the Prince of Peace. He has been called the King of Kings. His name in Gematria actually means the Messiah. Can you believe this? You guys have seen where they have called Trump Cyrus the Great. Now, there's multiple reasons why they're calling him Cyrus the Great. King Cyrus was the only Gentile, non-Jew, to be called the Messiah, and he built the second temple. Are you guys staying with me? Come on, let's go over here. I found even one more crazy, duality in what is happening right in front of your face. So, that is Cyrus the Great, and that is Trump. This is Trump's coin that he has coined. And now, I learned that this was when the Jews were allowed back into the Holy Land, into Jerusalem. It was a little over 70 years, and that's when Cyrus the Great allowed them back in. And that is what inked them the coin. Well, we all know that we are the biblical Jerusalem, and how long has it been since that Jerusalem or that Israel has been around? About 70-something years. You see the meaning now? You see the meaning? It is identical. So they got a coin for him when he allowed the Jews into the Holy Land after 70-something years of being banished. Now, the Jews have been in a make-believe land that the Rothschilds made in Palestine, and it's been about 70-something years. And this man is the Antichrist, and he is doing it again. Only here on Truth Movement Cartel, guys.
We have over here in Hebrew, Lemalot Shivim Shana, to fulfill 70 years. The original verse, to fulfill 70 years, is when the Jews went out to exile, to the Babylonian exile. They were there for 70 years. And after 70 years, King Cyrus said, God, the Lord of the world, gave me permission to let you, the Jews, come back to the land of Israel. And look what he said. And he charged me to build him a house in Jerusalem. This president, he understood what nobody else understood. He understood we're not talking politics. We're not talking politics. We're talking Torah. We're talking prophets. That's what it's all about.
Trump's father, right? A lot of people don't know this. His father's name is Frederick Christ Trump. There is so many things that are insane when I put the pieces together for you. I hope you're ready for it. So, come on, let's keep going on the journey. So, I have told you guys over and over and over that the biblical Israel is here in America. The biblical Egypt, the Nile is the Mississippi. It's got 7 tributaries. We can go on for days about that. When you take the word Jerusalem, you put the 3 letters on the end out, the 3 letters on this end out, and it will leave you with 3 letters. You can see it right here. USA. They are letting you know that this is where the biblical Israel is. Now, I have shown extensive stuff about Trump having the Ark of the Covenant.
So apparently Donald Trump has an exact replica of the Ark of the Covenant in his home in Florida. And when I say exact replica, I mean an exact replica. It took 2,700 hours of labor to make this thing. It has 6 pounds of gold plating it. What's blowing my mind about this is, what if it's the actual Ark of the Covenant? What if Donald Trump has the Ark of the Covenant sitting in his mansion?
Some say that it is not the real ark, but I don't know. Come on, let's keep going down this journey.
We're also working with the military on it because they want to make sure everything's perfect, and the military is very much involved in this. You see the new and improved Oval Office.
President Trump is pretty proud of his Oval Office makeover.
It becomes more and more beautiful with love. You know, we handle it with great love, and 24 karat gold. That always helps too. Never found a paint that looks like gold. You see that in the Oval Office. They've tried for years and years. Somebody could become very wealthy, but they've never found a paint that looks like gold. So painting it is easy, but it won't look right. And the question is whether or not we should gold leaf it. They've never found a paint that looks like gold. You see that in the Oval Office. They've tried for years and years. Somebody could become very wealthy. But
Exactly, because he's got all that gold that he took from the Vatican. He is building a tower in the east. He is building the third temple, guys. You're just looking in the wrong place.
That this ballroom being built at the White House has anything to do with the ballroom, you are sadly mistaken. Seriously, guys, the minute I heard it, I said, what are they really doing? What's really going on? There's always something behind the scenes. This is all just smoke and mirrors. And so here's what I want you to do. It's a little investigative thing for you. Look up the plans for Solomon's temple, and then look up the plans for this ballroom. They are almost identical. And isn't it funny how in this ballroom, it seats 999 people. Inverted, that would be the 666s. It's so obvious what's going on. And did you know that they have a no-fly zone over it? The construction is so high, you can't see what's going on.
So guys, with that being said, I'm going to leave you with this little clip at the end. I know this was a rather long video, but guys, I have been telling you guys this forever now. I go live on Facebook every day for 14 hours. You can hear my voice. I have been trying to bring the world to a better understanding of what is also happening behind the scenes. Guys, this is very serious stuff, even though they are playing God and playing Antichrist, using the scripture as a script, it is still very real. And who are we to tell that this isn't what maybe was really the actual thing? Maybe this, you know what I mean? Maybe this is really how it was, how they saw it. So pay attention to everything, guys. You guys have seen that Trump is not who he said he was. We have come and told you that. We were all Trumpers here. I despise the guy. Pay attention, get your affairs in order, and prepare yourself, guys. And remember, God wins no matter what. All right? Trust in God, put your faith in God, and only trust God. He will make sure that you will be in one great place or another. If for some reason we don't make it to the other side of this, if we are with God, we will be in paradise. So don't think of this as Debbie Downer. Get yourself right with God. God is great.
He will make a 7-year peace accord with Israel, the famed covenant with many. At first he will look like a hero. He will allow the temple in Jerusalem to be rebuilt, broker alliances between enemy nations, and proclaim stability. But it will all be a carefully planned deception. And halfway through those 7 years, his true nature will be laid bare. He will enter the temple of God and sit as though he were God himself, demanding worship. This is what Jesus called the abomination of desolation. From that moment, the Great Tribulation will begin, 42 months in which the Antichrist will ruthlessly pursue anyone who refuses to bow before him. Revelation describes how he will enforce an absolute economic order. No one may buy or sell without the mark on the right hand or the forehead, the infamous number 666. It will not be merely a symbol, but a tool of total control. Whoever rejects the mark will be cut off from the system. No food, no work, no way to survive daily life. But whoever accepts it will have sealed their eternal fate. For receiving the mark will mean surrendering to the power of Satan and definitively rejecting Christ. The Bible does not show him acting alone. There will be a false prophet, a religious leader who performs signs to convince the masses to worship the beast. Together, they will form an unprecedented political religious system. The Antichrist will raise up an image of himself that comes to life and will demand that all worship it. Whoever refuses will be executed. It will be the return of an imperial cult on a global scale, like in the days of Rome, only now armed with technology, counterfeit miracles, and absolute control. His arrogance will be total. He will speak great blasphemies against God. He will exalt himself above every so-called God and every object of worship. He will promise peace, but bring destruction. John says the dragon, Satan, will give him his power, his throne, and great authority. He will be, in essence, the embodiment of satanic deception, a false Messiah seeking to take the place of Christ. Those left behind will begin to understand the words they heard so many times, yet never believed. They will remember the sermons that warned of a time of anguish unlike anything the world has ever known. They will remember that Jesus himself spoke of a tribulation so intense that, if those days were not shortened, no one would survive. Then they will realize that what is beginning is not a period of peace, but the prelude to the wrath of God. And what will happen to those who repent? Will there be a second chance? Those who awaken too late will feel the crushing weight of their mistake. Yet right there, on the brink of despair, a clear choice will stand before them. Resist. Resist the system the Antichrist will impose. Resist the mark that will become the passport to buy and sell. Resist, even if it means losing everything, even your life. It will be a time of spiritual preparation like no other. Empty churches will fill again, but no longer with lukewarm crowds, rather with broken men and women weeping on their knees, knowing there is no time left for religious games. Pastors who were left behind will rise with courage, now preaching the truth they once withheld, knowing their days are numbered. Entire communities will forge secret covenants of loyalty to Christ, committing to refuse the mark even when the pressure becomes unbearable. They will call one another the sealed. They will share the last piece of bread. They will hide together. They will die together. Homes will become modern catacombs. The Bible, once ignored and gathering dust, will become the most precious treasure.
Finding of clear and present danger, but I can only say that the danger has never been more clear, and its presence has never been more imminent. Finding of clear and present danger, finding of clear and present danger, finding of clear and present danger, but I can only say that the danger has never been more clear, and its presence has never been more imminent. Finding of clear and present danger, but I can only say that the danger has never been more clear, and its presence has never been more imminent.